ఒకళ్ళ పట్ల ఎందుకు ఆకర్షితులు అవుతాం? అసలు ఎలా పుడుతుంది అది?
సెక్షువల్ కెమిస్ట్రీ ఉంటే.
Oh, is it true?
Oh yes, absolutely.
అంటే you're saying it's either this or that,
Correct. That is what it is.
స్త్రీకి ఒక మగవాడి అవసరం.
The context of love, not in the context of marriage.
ఈ మూలానికి ఏదో ఒక్క బీజం.
This becomes the unconscious attraction.
How best to understand this?
So I don't think we are only spiritual or only psychological or only physical. So that becomes her story. That becomes her pathway to love.
హలో అండ్ వెల్కమ్ టు ద సిరీస్ ద బిలవెడ్. TVNXT నిర్వహిస్తున్న ఈ ప్రత్యేక సిరీస్లో 3వ ఎపిసోడ్కి స్వాగతం. గత 2 ఎపిసోడ్స్లో మొదటి ఎపిసోడ్లో మనం అసలు ప్రేమ అంటే ఏమిటి, ప్రేమకి పునాదులు ఏమిటి, వీటి గురించి మాట్లాడుకున్నాం. 2వ ఎపిసోడ్లో వివాహేతర బంధాలు అనే ఒక చాలా వివాదాస్పదమైన అంశం గురించి మాట్లాడాం. ఇవాళ మనం మాట్లాడబోతున్నాం ఒక చాలా అందమైన విషయాన్ని గురించి. ప్రపంచంలో ఇంతమంది ఉంటే నేను జెస్సీనే ఎందుకు ప్రేమించాను, లైలా మజ్నూని ఎందుకు ప్రేమించింది, అలాగే రోమియో జూలియట్ మధ్యనే ఎందుకు ప్రేమ కుదిరింది అంటే ఇద్దరు వ్యక్తుల మధ్య ఆకర్షణ కుదరడానికి, అది ప్రేమగా మారడానికి ఏమన్నా కారణాలు ఉంటాయా? అది నేపథ్యం కారణమా, లేక పుట్టుకతోనే పూర్వజన్మ బంధాలంటూ ఉంటాయా? ఎందుకు జరుగుతుంది, ఎలా జరుగుతుంది, మన ఎక్స్పర్ట్ చెప్పబోతున్నారు. అండ్ యాజ్ ఆల్వేస్ ఐడ్ లైక్ టు ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ అవర్ ఎక్స్పర్ట్ ఫర్ టుడే, సుజాత పోటే. తను 26 సంవత్సరాలు రిలేషన్షిప్ కౌన్సిలింగ్లో ఎక్స్పర్ట్గా 13-14 వేల మందికి కౌన్సిలింగ్ ఇచ్చారు. అండ్ నిమ్హాన్స్లో తను క్లినికల్ సైకాలజీ చదువుకున్నారు. అంతేకాదు ఎన్నో వర్క్షాప్స్ నిర్వహిస్తూ దాదాపు ఈ రిలేషన్షిప్ కౌన్సిలింగ్ ద్వారా తాను తెలుసుకున్న విషయాలను కూడా ఇప్పుడు ప్రపంచానికి పంచుతున్నారు. సుజాత, యాజ్ ఆల్వేస్ వెల్కమ్ వన్స్ అగైన్. హాయ్. సో దిస్ ఫండమెంటల్ క్వశ్చన్ ఐ ఆల్వేస్ వండర్డ్. ఒక క్రౌడ్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్, అందరూ బాగుంటారు, అందరూ అన్ని విధాల అర్హులు, బట్ ఒకళ్ళ పట్ల ఎందుకు ఆకర్షితులు అవుతాం? అసలు ఎలా పుడుతుంది అది? వాట్ ఈస్ ద బేస్?
ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఇస్ అ వెరీ వెరీ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్, వెరీ ఫ్యాసినేటింగ్ అండ్ వెరీ డీప్ క్వశ్చన్ యాక్చువల్లీ. జనరల్గా సెక్షువల్ కెమిస్ట్రీ ఉంటే అట్రాక్షన్ ఉంటుంది అని అనుకోవడం సహజం. బట్ దెర్ ఇస్ సంథింగ్ వెరీ డీప్ అండ్ సైకలాజికల్ అండ్ very profound in how that sexual chemistry also actually comes forth. Right. Okay, so one of the basic things is I seek in you what I have or what I don't have.
Yes. Oh, is it true?
Oh yes, absolutely.
And you're saying it's either this or that,
It's both. It's both. Okay, so at the conscious level I seek what I believe I have, you should also have, which is okay, which is not such a bad idea, because there's అంటే కొద్దిగైనా మనకు ఐడియా ఉంటుంది, మనకు తెలిసి ఉంటుంది. మన ఫ్యామిలీ మెంబర్స్, ఫ్రెండ్స్, టీచర్స్, కొలీగ్స్ అందరు కొంచెం మనకు ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ ఇచ్చి ఉంటారు. సో మనకు ఆ అవేర్నెస్ ఉంటుంది. ఆ అవేర్నెస్ కొద్దీ వీఆర్ ట్రయింగ్ టు ఫైండ్ సంబడి టు సమ్ ఎక్స్టెంట్ దట్ మే బీ ఓకే, బట్ దట్ ఈస్ ఓన్లీ ద టిప్ ఆఫ్ ద ఐస్బర్గ్. ఐస్బర్గ్ అంటే తెలుసు కదా, సముద్రంలో అది పెద్ద ఐస్ బండలా ఉంటుంది, అది పైన ఇంతే కనిపిస్తుంది, కింద ఇంత లావుగా ఉంటుంది.
ఐస్బర్గ్ అంటే నాకు టైటానిక్ గుర్తొస్తుంది.
కరెక్ట్, దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఇట్ ఈస్, దట్ ఈస్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ వాట్ ఇట్ ఈస్, రైట్? సో లాట్ ఆఫ్ షిప్స్ హ్యావ్ గాన్ అండ్ క్రాష్డ్ because of that. So that conscious seeking is only a small part of it. The unconscious reasoning, which you are not aware, which is driving your behavior, sitting like a big fat driver there, but you can't see it, that actually drives you to seek and then to feel attracted to somebody. So it seeks that which you don't have, or it seeks that which you are familiar with. In the unconscious, these are two other things, right? So one is, suppose, so I think examples is the best to clarify.
Yes.
Okay, so let's take a family where there are 2 girls. Okay, the older girl has grown up almost fulfilling the place of a boy, of a son in the family, let's say. So there is overdevelopment of the masculine aspect. She may be a woman, that is all okay. She may be looking like a woman also, all that is fine. But just the role, responsibility, taking over, taking in charge, bringing on all the masculine aspects of a person's development, right? So she has grown up like that. This lady will be found very attracted by a man who, let's say there are 3 brothers in that family, and this one is the youngest one, where nobody has really given him much importance. If he passes, it's okay. If he fails, it's okay. If he wants to join dance class, it's okay. If he wants to join father's business, it's okay. So he has been allowed to be more in the feminine. This is not to say in a negative way. See, as a woman or a man, all of us have the masculine and feminine aspect, right? రెండు ఉంటాయి మనకి. సో ఈ అబ్బాయి అటు ఆ పెద్ద అన్నయ్యని కాపీ చేసి ఇమిటేట్ చేసి ఎమ్యులేట్ చేయడం కుదరలేదు. He has not been able to really get some solid role models of what a man should be. So he's been more in the feminine kind of overdevelopment, let's say. So these two people will find each other very attractive because for this lady, that feminine is missing. She's not been brought up like a girl, she's been brought up like a boy, right? And for that boy, the masculine is missing. So he finds it in her. So he will be attracted to her. But these are not conscious thoughts. This is in the unconscious. This is being driven. So they will, when they meet amongst 100 other people at a function or a wedding or something, these two radars will come together like that and call each other out, and that's how they find it.
So in this unconscious seeking, it becomes like a whole circle for them.
Correct. It's a hope, it's a wish for a whole circle, but it brings out other problems. Adela ante ippudu, so tinilo masculine is underdeveloped, ammayilo feminine is underdeveloped. So that pull is there, but the pull doesn't satisfy the wholeness need of each of them as separate individuals.
అంటే సంపూర్ణంగా వాళ్ళు ఫీల్ అవ్వాలి వాళ్ళని వాళ్ళు అనే ఆ నీడ్ ని ఇది ఫుల్ఫిల్ చేయదు. ఏదో టెంపరరీగా క్రోసిన్ వేసుకున్నట్టు.
ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ, బికాజ్ నాలో నేను సంపూర్ణంగా ఉండాలి, మీలో మీరు సంపూర్ణంగా ఉండాలి, అప్పుడు మీ ఫెమినిన్ నా మాస్కులైన్ ఆర్ వైస్ వెర్సా ఇట్ కెన్ డాన్స్, ఇట్ కెన్ ఎంజాయ్, రైట్? ఇది నేను హాఫ్ మీరు హాఫ్ అంటే యూ కాంట్ బికమ్ అ కపుల్. It is not possible. So initially attraction is very great and they may find each other very perfectly matched, very compatible, but slowly with the relationship developing and deepening, especially if they get married, right, definitely all the incompletion issues will come out. So em avutundante what was attractive will become oppressive. Okay, so for the boy, the amazing self ownership, taking charge, responsibility, initiative, going out and getting everything in the woman was so nice. Abba, she's such an independent lady and a feeling kuda undochu. Kani after a point, she's not going to let you sit around, watch TV, go play with friends, drink whenever you feel like. She's not going to like that. She's going to expect the same from you. So what was attractive becomes oppressive. Vice versa. Even for this lady, maybe she finds him very comforting, very consoling, very relaxing, very non-demanding. Tarvata it's like, what are you doing? Look at that man, he bought a house, look at him, he got a promotion. So she's going to go. So attraction turns into oppression very quickly, especially if you put them into the what do you call that? The chutney thingy, what do you call that?
Grinder.
అదే
తిరగల్లో వేసేసి.
మ్యారేజ్ అన్న దాంట్లో వేస్తే ఇవి చాలా తొందరగా బయటకు వస్తాయి.
సో ఇప్పుడు మామూలుగా ప్రేమ జరిగిపోతుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఇంత ఆలోచించుకుని నాలో ఫెమినిన్ ఇలా ఉంది, వీళ్ళు మాస్కులిన్ అలా ఆలోచించుకుని జరిగిపోతుంది. అలా ఆలోచించామంటే అది ప్రేమ కాదు, ఇంకేదో
అనాలిసిస్.
సో అలా జరిగిపోయినప్పుడు మరి కాన్షియస్నెస్ పాసిబుల్ అంటారా? ఇస్ ఇట్ పాసిబుల్ టు బీ మైండ్ఫుల్ ఆఫ్ వాట్ ఈస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్? షుడ్ యూ బీ మైండ్ఫుల్ ఎట్ ఆల్? Because you're losing the beauty, right? I mean, you keep thinking about what's happening, the process that's happening.
So, this is a post facto learning we all have learnt later on. Right. In the beginning, this kind of attraction was romanticized completely. All movies are based on that. All love epics are based on that. So, I'm not saying, you should analyze and think and then jump into it. Because as you said, అంత టైం ఉండదు, అది అలా జరిగిపోతుంది. దట్స్ ఓకే. కానీ తర్వాత ద కాన్ఫ్లిక్ట్ దట్ కమ్స్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ దాట్ కెన్ బి యూజ్డ్ యాజ్ ఏ స్టెప్పింగ్ స్టోన్ ఫార్ మోర్ సెల్ఫ్ అవేర్నెస్ అండ్ మోర్ రిలేషన్షిప్ ఇంప్రూవ్మెంట్ ఆల్సో, రైట్? సో సపోజ్ దీస్ టూ ఆర్ ఫైటింగ్ అండ్ ఈదర్ నౌ డేస్ ఇఫ్ దే ఆర్ ద ఏంటది జనరేషన్ ఎక్స్ అండ్ పైగా జనరేషన్ వై వీళ్ళంతా ఉంటే విదిన్ 2 months to 2 years దే విల్ సింప్లీ సెపరేట్, దే విల్ జస్ట్ గో అవే. బట్ ఐమ్ టాకింగ్ ఆఫ్ ది ఓల్డర్ కపుల్స్ హూ ఆర్ నౌ ఇన్ their 30s, 40s, 50s, sometimes even 60s, right? For them this can become a amazing doorway to self exploration, to understanding what parts of me have not been looked at, what parts of me are incomplete. Why am I projecting this onto my partner? How can I rectify that? How can I become whole and allow the other partner also to become whole? How can we both reconnect as two whole beings rather than two half beings? So that's a possibility. That's a huge possibility.
So one question here. So when the attraction happens, the unconscious incompletions bring those two together. But what you're saying, for it to grow into something deeper, there has to be the self-awareness.
Yes.
Because once you have absorbed each other's incomplete energies, whatever, and feeling complete for the time being, appudu inka problems kanapadam modalavatai meer cheppinattuga.
Correct.
So then that is a point actually where most relationships fade away.
Fade out ante, see, two things can happen. One is if they continuously okay, let me put it this way, if they fight a lot, it's always good news. If they withdraw and disconnect, it's a bad news. So for example, if they are living in also, but there's some amount of commitment, so a conflict vachinapudalla, if they can sit and talk it over, try to understand, try to figure out, discuss with somebody, read some books, watch some videos, go to a therapist, there is hope for this. There is a hope to realize, okay, let us not go too deep, unconscious adantha kuda velakunda, just if you go to a counselor and discuss these are the problems, even the simple tips that they give you. So okay, when he comes back from home, don't do this, or okay, when she comes back from office, try to do this. Small tips that they give, maybe if they follow, little bit of the conflict can be reduced. Their relationship can still work. But that is usually a superficial solution, because these inner demons are very strong and big. They won't keep quiet for small tips, right? They'll come out again. So meer adugundenti, you said
no, I'm saying that kevalam ante meer ichina example, you gave the masculine feminine energies as the example for incompletions. First వాళ్ళు attract అవుతారు. Attract అయిన తర్వాత, after engaging briefly, they perhaps absorb each other's energies to feel complete enough for the time being.
Okay.
Does it happen? First of all, correct me if
yes,
I'm wrong.
of course. See, that is what it with the absorption is a word you're using. We use the word projection, which is I see in you whatever I want to see in you. దృశ్యం అంటారు కదా, నా దృశ్యం. I will just project it onto you. సో అది యాక్చువల్గా మీలో ఉందో లేదో తెలీదు, మీకు తెలీదు, నాకు తెలీదు, కానీ నాకు అలా కనిపిస్తుంది. సో బేస్డ్ ఆన్ దట్ ఐఎమ్ థింకింగ్ ఐఎమ్ ఇన్ లవ్ విత్ యూ, right? So there is a lot of projection going on, and of course it meets my needs temporarily. I feel whole, I feel complete, I go buy Archie's cards, I exchange flowers and chocolates, we go for dates and movies. So it's a good time. It's a very good time. It's slowly when we start living the daily routine mundane life, then these demons will slowly come out. That is when they start coming out.
So I'll go back to the example that you gave.
Yes.
మీరు ఇచ్చిన example లో energies, because that's the fundamental of the whole universe now.
Yes.
In the context of relationships.
Yes.
Primarily.
Yes.
సో ఇవి కాకుండా ఇంకా లోటుపాట్లు ఉంటాయా? ఇతర నేచర్ ఆఫ్ లోటుపాట్లు అంటే incompletions ఉంటాయా? Other than the because is this a cultural idea? Ante the masculine,
no,
feminine,
this
or
is
it
not
is a fundamental idea for the
this
whole
is a
world?
fundamental idea. This is not a cultural idea. As always, India, I think, has always had the wisdom right from the ages. I don't know since when. The way world is waking up to it now. That's all. This is not a cultural idea. This is, I think, especially now, right now, the whole idea of how the over-development and over-implementation of the masculine, which is shown in terms of patriarchy, has become a huge movement all over the world. The recognition of it, the recognition of the oppression of the feminine, and how that has had so many different impacts, both on men and women. See, women are also victims of patriarchy, men are also victims of patriarchy. So how that has impacted all human systems, whether it's education or marriage or parenting or what is considered success in the world, everything. So it's not a cultural idea, it's a overall idea, and actually whatever you boil down, whatever you discuss, it boils down to this, boils down to an imbalance in these energies, either within a person or in a system.
In a system or in the way they've been raised.
Yeah, so it is like intrapersonal or interpersonal.
So you're saying it at a very base level, it could be chromosomal.
Chromosomal anlemo, that is more in terms of biology and genetics.
Yes.
We are talking about energetics, which is not, I think, physically represented, but it's a energetic presence or experience or something that you know drives everything. Right? So I don't think we can talk of chromosomes.
So it's beyond the biology.
It's beyond the biology, totally.
It's totally in the psyche.
It is, well, you can say that. It is in the
or
psyche.
The consciousness.
Consciousness, psyche. See, psyche is the individualized consciousness. for the sake of discussion, let's look at it that way, right? So it is the energy that drives all that is there in the universe. It is the animating energy behind everything, right?
సో దీనికి మూలం ఏముంటుందండి? అంటే ఈ కాన్షియస్నెస్ ఇలా ఏర్పడడానికి సొసైటల్ రీజన్స్,
ఏది ఏర్పడడానికి,
జెండర్
డిఫరెన్స్, patriarchy totally, right from God knows when. The whole concept of what is good, what is appropriate, what is to be pursued, what is not to be pursued, what is to be valued, what is not to be valued, everything is dictated by patriarchy. మీరు ఏదో తెలుగు వర్డ్ వాడారు లాస్ట్ టైం దానికి, patriarchy,
పితృస్వామ్య
there you go,
వ్యవస్థ.
అది ఆ వ్యవస్థ, that is the whole focus of all this confusion, and everyone is a victim of it, women as well as men, right? So there is no other, I mean, if you boil it down, this is where it stands. This is the final.
I'm going to come to a very fundamental question, but I would like to dwell a little more in this. ఇప్పుడు are we saying then that two whole people, two whole individuals who are complete and who have arrived, first of all అలాంటి ప్లేస్ ఉంటుందో లేదో తెలియదు మనకి. ఒకవేళ ఉంటే వాళ్ళలో అట్రాక్షన్ ఉండదా? అదొక అది ఎందుకంటే ఇట్స్ వెరీ డిప్రెసింగ్, యు నో, బికాస్ we all
see, this is your
if I have become so whole that I'm not attracted to anybody or I don't need anybody.
No,
from that, that's I put it very lightly, but
I understood your worry also. So this is like a disincentive for wholeness. You don't want to become whole because you lose attraction. No, it's not like that. That is why nowadays one of the big phrases that is going around all over the town is conscious relationship. What it means is, can we use relationship to delve deeper and deeper into ourselves so that each of us can support the other one also in their journey of wholeness and meet as two whole people at a different level of, compatibility and synchronicity and love and sharing and everything. Why not? Two whole people can share a lot more minus the drama. See, when two half done people come together, there will be a lot of sparks, which initially feels like love ante ivanni undali, possessiveness and jealousy and holding back and this and that, but over a period of time you'll realize that's just draining drama. It just takes out your energy, takes out your prana literally, right? So if you are working towards wholeness, the chance that you will attract also a reasonably whole and evolved partner are higher, because you are vibing at a certain level, vibrating, they are also vibrating at the same level, and also I think the drama becomes less and less and less. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what does it mean to be whole.
Yes.
So as you rightly said, ఆ పరిస్థితి వస్తుందో లేదో, వచ్చినప్పుడు తెలుస్తుందో లేదో, that we don't know. So please clarify, understand, we are not talking about the spiritual concept of self realization. అది ఇంకో ఫీల్డ్, ఇంకో planet, let's not even go there, right here. When in psychological terms, at least in my practice personally, the way I would define wholeness is somebody who is most of the time, not all the time, most of the time, is in awareness of themselves as a individualized entity with a clear sense of personal space and personal boundary. Okay, which means at all times when I engage with you, I engage as me, not as us or a part of us or one foot entangled with somebody else. So this concept of personal space and boundary is very integral to wholeness. Okay, so wherever there are dramas, wherever there is this amazing love that people talk about, wherever there's a lot of emotional turmoil and churn and all that, usually people have related that to be higher the love, greater the drama. That's not true, because you pretty much fall down exhausted after a few years of that, right? So I think wherever the sense of individuation is clear, there's much less drama, there's more of true joy, more of authenticity, more of genuine connection, genuine love, genuine compassion. There is a wholesomeness to it. It doesn't eat you away. There's no trading. If I give you this, then I have to get back this. Alanti undavu. There's a completion within yourself. So the love that you give is also more authentic and generous, and it's out of conscious choice. You're not giving it because you're needy. Right. Or you're not giving it because you need something else from the other person.
But I mean, a popular identante, love is vulnerability. సో అది చాలా స్వీపింగ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ లా ఉంది వినడానికి.
Oh yes, and we'll talk about it.
సో వాట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ వల్నరబిలిటీ అంటే నాకు ఒక 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 అంటే ఒక స్త్రీకి ఒక మగవాడి అవసరం.
Okay. So see, vulnerability, at least the way I understand, is slightly different. Okay, vulnerability is not neediness. Let's get that very clear. Neediness will cause trouble. Vulnerability will actually enhance the relationship. So let me explain this, right? So let's say you are a well-to-do man. You know, you have a successful career, lots of property, good bank balance. You're like really happening, marketable person there, right? And let's say I'm a woman. I'm good looking, something, but I don't know, I'm feeling very lost, aimless, directionless. I want to find an anchor. I want to get married. Let's just consider this as a starting story.
Yes.
Okay, right. So now definitely need is there. I need you to take care of my daily sustenance needs, and looks like you also need me just to feel like you also have a woman. You have everything else, but you don't have a woman. So that kind of leaves you a little incomplete as a man, and I'm definitely feeling incomplete because I'm just not confident about taking care of myself. This is the standard reason why most people get married or get into relationships. Right? So ala unnappudu idi pedda vulnerability kada iddarki. You think this equation will survive? Cheppandi mere cheppandi.
Ante honestly, at a very practical level, it may survive because a lot of marriages, I feel, I mean, మీరు కూడా చూసారు, నాకంటే ఎక్కువ మీరు చూసారు, I mean, ప్రత్యక్షంగా, they'll survive. But today we are talking about the spark, the attraction, and దాని కెమిస్ట్రీ అంటారా, అది కలగడానికి ఇద్దరు మనుషుల మధ్య, వీళ్ళిద్దరికి అన్నీ ఉండొచ్చు, అది ఉండకపోవచ్చు.
Exactly. So that is why I want to define what is vulnerability in the context of love, not in the context of marriage. Okay, so in this scenario, this example, both are vulnerable because both have one unfulfilled need, and ఇది బానే మ్యాచ్ అవుతుంది కదా, చేసుకుంటే బానే ఉంటుంది కదా అనుకొని చేసుకుంటారు.
And they may love to,
and they may survive also.
Yeah, they may love to appreciate, love each other and respect each other.
Yes, and it can go on. Yes, but what you're talking of, the chemistry, the sense of aliveness, the sense of blooming in the presence of the other person, that requires a different kind of vulnerability, which is it's a two-way street. Of course, I can't be vulnerable all by myself if you're not able to if you're not able to mirror it, it has no meaning, right? So for example, let's say there is something about me which I'm aware and I would like to share with you. Now, am I sharing it with you to seek approval, to get your green signal, or am I sharing it with you because I consider you a close friend and a partner and I feel you should also know, or am I sharing it with you just like that, just for conversation? Based on all this, how you respond will also depend. If I'm sharing it for approval, I am actually provoking the parent in you, which will say, nah, why are you talking like that? That is not good. No, that's not safe. Don't do like that. So you will immediately start instructing me.
Yes.
Right? I am not aware that I'm seeking approval, so now I'll get annoyed. I'll say, why? I'm telling you something in honesty, with genuineness, with openness, with vulnerability, and you're putting me down. So I can blame you back. That will shut you down also. So this is how we actually keep shutting each other down.
So ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇద్దాం ఇక్కడ.
చెప్పండి.
నాకు ఇవాళ ఆఫీస్లో నాకు నా వర్క్ కాని వర్క్ నాకు అంటగట్టారు. నాకు ఎందుకో ఐ డోంట్ నో వాట్ టు డూ. అంటే మీరు వెంటనే నీకు ముందే తెలుసు కదా ఇలా చేయాలని అలా చేయాలని, ఇప్పుడు వెంటనే వెళ్ళి ఈమెయిల్ రాస్తాయి మీ బాస్కి, ఇలా చేయి అలా చేయి. సో యూర్ ఇన్స్ట్రక్టింగ్ మీ.
ఎస్.
అండ్ ఐఎమ్ సేయింగ్ నేను ఏదో షేర్ చేసుకుని నా కష్టం ఇలా ఉంది అని చెప్తుంటే నువ్వు ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ ఇస్తావేంటి నాకు.
రైట్.
That's what
that is what it is. That's another very good example, right? So now that, suppose that lady who's saying I don't like this job, if she is actually unaware that she's seeking his approval to stay at home, అంటే ఇవాళ జాబ్ వెళ్ళకుండా ఇంట్లోనే ఉండిపోవాలి, ఎందుకంటే వెళ్తే ఆ పని చేయాల్సి వస్తుంది, ఇవాళ లీవ్ పెట్టేస్తే పోతుంది కదా, దట్స్ వాట్ షీఈస్ థింకింగ్, రైట్? So as an adult, as a whole adult, this is where it comes. In her own space, in her own boundary, as an individual, adult, educated, responsible person, employee, she can take a decision. She can say, I won't go today. And then she can inform the husband. This is how I'm feeling, I'm not going. The husband, of course, because he's a husband, has the right and the space to say, are you sure that's a good decision? Antavaraku okay. బట్ షీ విల్ గో అండ్ సే నాకు ఇలా అనిపిస్తుంది, హీ విల్ సే మరి ఎందుకు తెలుసు కదా వెళ్ళి చేసేసుకుంటే బాగుంటుంది కదా, దెన్ యూ ఆర్ ట్రిగరింగ్ అ పేరెంట్ చైల్డ్ ఇంటరాక్షన్ దేర్ విచ్ ఇస్ నాట్ గోయింగ్ టు గో ఎనీవేర్. Right? So this is not a very great example of vulnerability. Vulnerability is more in the space of
wanting to be heard.
See, this is also wanting to be heard, no? She's but I'm talking more in space of personal, inner intimacy, sexuality, those areas vulnerability will come. So let's say I want, if we are dating, I want to tell you I really have this dream or this fantasy that, you know, when it's semi-clouded and drizzling, that we would go on a drive in an open roof car, something like that. It's a very tender and vulnerable thing I'm sharing with you. And you say, are you crazy? By the time we go on a drive, we'll get wet. How can you go in an open roof car in a drizzle? Ala ante. There is a problem there. I mean, because you're not getting the space from which I'm coming. This vulnerability can always spark fire, can keep the love alive. Not the need-based vulnerability.
So what happened in this? Varsham vastundi adidi ani chepte what ego is reacting? The parent, adult or child?
See, there I don't think it's so much about parent, ego and child. There's just poor listening.
Ante.
Poor listening.
Lack of presence or what?
Lack of presence. Meaning you're not in the space to see where is this person coming from. Maybe she doesn't even, you don't even need to take the person out on a drive. Maybe you don't even have to do any of this. She's just sharing. She's just sharing.
So vindam veru, vinipinchukodam veru.
Exactly.
Hearing and listening.
Right? Hearing and listening. So in these kinds of moments, when you are able to share vulnerably without the weakness of approval or not. Like suppose, let's say this gentleman says, how can you go in an open roof car? Okay, if she's in her own space, she can say, hey, come on, I'm trying to be funny here, I'm trying to say something, why are you getting into practicalities? And it can go into a conversation. But if she's not fully individuated, if she's not whole, if she's relying on him for approval, then they have trouble.
Or to provide her something, what is she asking for him to provide?
Exactly. If he gets into provision mode, which is the classic husband mode, then they are in trouble. Because I don't think she's really asking for either the car or the rain. She's just sharing.
She's asking for his attention and time.
For his time, for his presence, for his companionship, right? So deep listening is another factor that will come in here. So to come back to the original point that you were talking about, vulnerability actually sparks intimacy. True vulnerability, conscious vulnerability, mutual vulnerability. One way vulnerability is dangerous.
One way
it doesn't work.
So attraction ki, manam since we started with the what attracts to people, వాళ్ళిద్దరి మధ్య ఉండే vulnerabilities match అవ్వడం. Is that one of the fundamentals where attraction happens?
See,
like I also like to go out with open roof car when it's raining. You also like to go out with open roof car when it's raining.
See, I'll put it this way. ఇద్దరికి similar interests and desires ఉంటే convenient ఉంటుంది. They don't have to hire a boat and a car separately if each one has different kind of
so then what is that fundamental? Because we meet, women meet 100 men in their life. Men meet 100 women in their life.
Okay, got it. So I think I'd like to answer it slightly differently. So the first of all, the idea that there is some one thing that is going to click and make this happen is a little doubtful. I don't believe it works like that. Especially, I think it's based on stages. So in teenage, what will click, in 20s, what will click, in 30s and 40s, what will click are completely different things, right? So at 17, I may have fallen for somebody, right? At 38, I can look back and say, what was I thinking? Right? Because you also grow, right? You also change, you also evolve. Some of your incompletions may become complete, hopefully by 35, 40, whatever, right? So appudu what you need and what you vibe and what you really look for is very different, right? And I'm not talking about consciously look for. Consciously, it's a no-brainer. You can always say 6 feet, medium color, wheatish complexion, avanni petkochu consciously. That is not what I'm talking about. Even unconsciously, whatever you are seeking has now evolved with age, with learning, with exposure, with things like that, right? So I don't think there is this one thing that will click. I don't believe in.
ఈ మూలానికి ఏదో ఒక్క బీజం. What brings two people together? Is it, I'm trying to understand if it's very base or is it spiritual? Is it something that is happening inside us that's mirroring outside? How best to understand this?
Okay, so there are two big answers to your question. Okay, so one thing let's clarify right away. I think as human beings, we are complex systems. Okay, so I don't think we are only spiritual or only psychological or only physical. We spoke about chakras last session, right? So I think at any given time, all the things are operating in a person, right? So what spiritual level of evolution you are in, what is your psychological maturity and depth, and what is your physical need, and all those things come together. So I would think that if someone is feeling attracted to someone at a given point of time, given point of age, all these things are acting together. So I don't think there's one definable, one thing, ala undadu. That's one part. But however, one of the major drivers for relationship attraction is the need to repeat or find familiar ground. Not repeat, to find familiar ground, so that or so that you feel competent in your ability to give and take love. So this also I want to give an example, right? So classic example, classic. So let's say a girl has grown up in a family where the father hasn't been available. Mm-hmm. Now this unavailability can be in multiple ways, okay? Right. He may be in the army, he may be in the navy, he may be traveling to another country for a job every month, or he may be very much in the city but pretty much doesn't see the children because he leaves before they wake up, he comes after they sleep. Or he may be very much at home but just not involved, not connected with either the mother or the child. Or he may be very much at home and actually inflicting aggression, either actively in terms of abuse, or by just being very passive, by being very withdrawn. So all of these forms are unavailability, right? Even the mothers can be like that. But in general, I'm talking about a classic situation of where the father is unavailable, right? Now this girl, for her, some of the common statements she would have heard, from both the parents, is if she says, oh, but daddy is not there, mother will say, no, he's there, he'll come, he loves you, he'll get you a gift, he'll get you a frock, look, he got you sweets. There's always a justification because everyone wants to keep the cart going. Nobody wants to call out the bluff and make a big mess out there. Let's say the girl even goes and talks to the father. You're not there, you said you'll come for the annual day, you said you'll come to take my report cards, you didn't come. There's always this thing of, no, I meant to come, but something came up. I'm really sorry. So to the extent possible, the father is also being honest. That is all there, right? So what is this girl absorbing as the meaning and nature of love is that love is where people claim that they love you, but they can't really provide the loving actions which fulfill that love. That is what she's absorbing every day. That is the conditioning that is going on for this girl.
అంటే వాస్తవ పరిస్థితులు అవి మనం వినే ఒకటి కానీ యాక్చువల్లీ వాస్తవంగా పరిస్థితులు డిఫరెంట్ గా ఉన్నాయన్నది తను కాన్స్టెంట్ గా ఆ వాతావరణంలో పెరుగుతుంది,
right? So her definition of love will be a person who can say all the right things but need not match with the doings of that thing. So father has constantly said, I love you baby, you're my princess, I'll do anything for you. Can you come for my report card? Can you come and buy me a dress? Can you play carom board with me? Can you take me out on a drive? Sorry baby, I'm busy today, right? So what am I learning? Love feels like this, love means this, love is like this. This is how love should be. It should be available in words, not really for me, right?
Is it should be available in words, not really like this, or it's available in words, even if it doesn't happen in actions, this is the model, is it?
That is a justification that the child makes once they grow to puberty and teenage. Okay, because it hurts to see the truth, no? Correct. So definitely, what you said also happens. That is, it is there, no? Verbally it is there. So what if he can't come? So what if he can't come out and take me on a drive? But he still loves me. So the rationalization and justification comes a little later, right? So this girl, what is she going to get attracted to? Because she has to recreate the familial environment because that's her known turf. That's her known area of competence. So that is what she's going to look for. So unconsciously she is tuned in to
Look
pick
out for
up
emotionally
people who
unavailable.
who are, very much like the father, very well-meaning, good-hearted, hard-working, sincere, successful,
But not available.
educated, everything, but not really available, not really there. Emotionally or even otherwise. See, when somebody is just not there, it doesn't matter. Emotionally or otherwise, they're not there, right? So that becomes her story. That becomes her pathway to love, right? So when you ask, what is the seed? What is the seed? This becomes the unconscious attraction. So some of us end up getting married into such relationships and then end up having children. I always say this, and I want to repeat it here also on camera. There are two roles in our life which are of utmost important, namely to be a spouse and to be a parent. And these are the two roles in our life for which not one single class, curriculum, course or university exists. Yes. We just get married because we have to get married. We just become parents because we end up becoming parents. So there's a complete trial and error going on in this field, right? So the driver for attraction often is that you find the familiar attractive.
So we talked about two things in the beginning. One is the familiar, one is the unfamiliar. We also seek out that which is not
within us.
Not within us.
Not unfamiliar, incomplete.
Incomplete
or what is missing in me.
Yeah. So are they going tandem
yes,
in this particular situation?
No, they do. So what happens here now, this girl, if suppose, like I said, she is the older of the 2 or 3 siblings there, father is always missing. So she will grow up to be the unnamed son in the family. So now we have the whole complex situation going on. She's totally independent, in charge, doesn't need anything, anybody, any man actually, because she's grown up like that without the father's availability. At the same time, emotionally, everyone has needs. She also feels the need. She also wants the attention and love. But she has told herself, if love is there and I'm assured of it, that's enough. It need not be shown. Now that works as long as you're just 2 people. Once you bring children into the picture, the whole thing changes. Because now you really need 2 extra hands to look after the children, especially in this generation. I think when we grew up, I think our neighbors and the community brought us up, not our parents, right? Now it's very different. You need to be really hands-on available there.
I'm going back to the fundamental of where we started. Attraction కలగడానికి మనలో ఉన్నది అంటే familiar గా ఉన్నది లేకపోతే మనలో ఉన్న అసంపూర్ణ కోణం ఏదైతే ఉంటుందో దానివల్ల ఇది కలుగుతుందని చెప్పారు మీరు. ఫ్రమ్ ద లాజిక్ అది కంప్లీట్ అవుతుందా? ఇన్కంప్లీషన్ డిఫరెంట్ ఫ్యాసెట్స్ డూ దే కీప్ గెటింగ్ కంప్లీటెడ్? అండ్ ఫ్రమ్ దట్ దిస్ థింగ్ వాట్ హ్యాపన్స్ ఇన్ మ్యారేజెస్? బికాస్ అట్రాక్షన్ ఉంటుంది. ఐ వి సేయింగ్ మ్యారేజెస్ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ వన్స్ యూ బికమ్ somewhat complete.
Attraction will go away.
Or does it evolve into something else?
It does evolve, it does go away, it does fall apart. Different marriages have different outcomes, right? See, there are many marriages which just keep working, keep going on because there are a lot of other factors at play. Primary being children. పిల్లలు ఉన్నందుకు ఎట్టి పరిస్థితుల్లో చేసే తీరాలని ఒక డిసిషన్ చాలామంది తీసుకుంటారు. మెనీ కపుల్స్ డూ దాట్. దెర్ ఆర్ అదర్ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ రీజన్స్ ఆల్సో, రైట్? The husband has an amazing relationship with the wife's family. Everybody, the wife's sister, the wife's cousin, the wife's brother, mother-in-law, father-in-law, okay? Vice versa. The daughter-in-law really, respects and worships the parents, her in-laws. Like they're so attached.
So what if we leave the social entanglement alone?
You can't leave it alone, no. It's a very real energy.
No, I'm saying marriage ani teeseste in long-term relationships. A and B got attracted. She was incomplete, he was incomplete. They came together, they became complete in their own self somewhat. They evolved or grew or whatever. After that, what happens?
No. You're making an assumption there. See, okay, let's complete the marriage thing because that's important. And then I'll come back to this, right? So therefore, while the marriage continues like that, many a time it ends up being a sexless marriage.
That is very important.
Yes, that is why I took you back. So to assume that they had some attraction, they got married, maybe they grew and then things are going on, that's not true. So a lot of these other factors keep a relationship running. The sex just goes out of the window.
Intimacy.
Right? Intimacy just goes out of the window because this thing hasn't been worked on. the incompletion hasn't been worked on consciously, and the seeking the familiar and the repercussions of it hasn't been worked on. Everyone is too busy. We are busy being ourselves, we are busy having a career, we are busy being parents, we are busy raising children, we are busy doing all the social responsibilities that come with being a husband and wife. Where is the time for self-awareness and self-work? So life is going on. Ala చూస్తూ 50, 20, 25 years pass. That is when they wake up. Daniki, so that is when they actually go seeking either a satsang or a guru or a teacher or a therapist or something.
I mean, I'm asking a very almost obviously weird question. What happens if there is no sex in the marriage? I mean, if they are both together in every possible way, are there any like major issues that come up with it?
See, there are many couples who say it really doesn't matter, we are okay.
As friends, they live together.
As friends, they live together, which is fine, which is okay, as long as there is no active hostility and negativity in the situation, okay, which is fine. However, that's only the top layer of the story. These marriages are the most vulnerable to extramarital involvements of any nature. We talked about it last time. It can be just spiritual involvement, emotional involvement, or physical involvement. It doesn't matter. I mean, they're all just simply degrees of the same. At least that's the way I
అంటే ఏదో ఒక డైవర్షన్ పెట్టుకోవడానికి చేసేది ఏదైనా కూడా అంతే డేంజరస్. ఆఫ్ కోర్స్ మనిషితో కొత్త బంధాలంటే ఇట్స్ ఎన్ ఎంటాంగిల్మెంట్ ఆల్సో కాబట్టి ఈవెన్ అడిషనల్లీ బ్యాడ్,
more problematic, right? So sexless marriages will have one or both couples getting overly involved in, it can be anything. It can be the running marathons has become a new thing nowadays. I am very sure, I'll be shot now on TV for saying this, but I'm very sure that's one of the
people love to run.
Yes, run away. So that's only the surface level. So they are most vulnerable to extramarital involvements. It could be with another person or another idea, another cause, another hobby. Any of these can become your affairs, object of your affairs. Okay, that is the thing. Now we'll come to what you're asking.
Before that, so we started with attraction, and we talked about two such people coming together and getting married, and then you explained how these external factors are taking over the marriage rather than the actual thing. But what was the point at which the actual thing got over the attraction? Is it because they got complete suddenly, or is it because what wore off? I'm just asking you.
No. I don't think completion is a natural result of being married. It takes a lot of conscious work. Okay, so what wore off? Marriage only. That's why I use the word grinder. No, the marriage itself is a wearing of technology that exists, right?
Because it came on a wrong foundation, or not the best foundation.
Exactly, it came on a foundation which is destined to take things downhill unless you are very conscious and willing to look at it and work with it, and not keep trying some top level creasing of the things, wrinkles kind of approach, So you also asked something about coming together and they become complete in their own way. I don't think any relationship guarantees that unless you, so okay, let me put it this way. So what are the two causes for attraction? One is a sense of incompletion, one is a sense of seeking the familiar.
Recreating the familiar.
Recreating the familiar.
Yes.
These are the two reasons, right? So amongst 500 men and 500 women, these two will find each other attractive, they come together. They hang out, they date, they maybe live in nowadays, then they get married also, right? Once they get married, see, for me, it doesn't matter whether they're living in or married, legally speaking. You live under one roof, that is enough. That is enough to bring out all the other unconscious stuff. Devils and demons and augurs and everybody comes out, right? So what does that mean? How does it show? It shows as conflict, right? What do we do with conflict? Run away, because we have a lot of people saying, పెళ్ళంతే అలా ఉంటుంది, అందరి పెళ్ళిలో అలాగే ఉంటుంది, ఎవరైనా సంతోషంగా ఉన్నారా, కొన్ని ఇటుంటాయి కొన్ని అటుంటాయి, చదువుకోవాలి. That's the standard advice you get, right? So either you run away from conflict or you pretend it doesn't exist. So you lose a wonderful gift or a wonderful opportunity to now start looking inwards as to what is it that I'm trying to gain here or give here or take here. Any of that, right? Now it helps if both partners have the same question, right? Meaning, if both of them are thinking, okay, why are we fighting so much? What's going on? let us discuss, let us understand. So some days one may dominate, some days the other one may dominate, that's all okay, but at least the sincere search to get to the root of the conflict will take you to the path.
ఈ మూలానికి ఏదో ఒక్క బీజం.
This becomes the unconscious attraction in the context of love, not in the context of marriage.
మా వీడియోస్ కనుక మీకు నచ్చినట్లయితే లైక్, షేర్ అండ్ డోంట్ ఫర్గెట్ టు సబ్స్క్రైబ్.